Okay, we're still talking about Ruby procedures. Still trying to bang out in my brain why they work and why we use them. So from Code Academy Ruby course, they talk about why they use procedures. So one of the questions was, why bother saving our blocks as procs? And they state that there are two main advantages. Procs are full-fledged objects, so they have all the powers and abilities of objects. Blocks do not. Unlike blocks, procs can be called over and over without rewriting them. This prevents you from having to retype the contents of your block every time you need to execute a particular bit of code. So then they go into an example that says, here at the amusement park, you have to be 4 feet tall or taller to ride the roller coaster. Let's use the .select method on each group to get only the ones 4 feet tall or taller. All right, so what they're looking at is a variable called group1, which is set to an array of floating point numbers. And what we want to do is make a proc to return those that are tall enough to ride the roller coaster. And those that are tall enough would be over 4 foot tall. So greater than or equal to 4 foot tall. All right, so let's get into our Ruby terminal, interactive Ruby terminal by going to pry. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste in the first group of riders, and then we'll hit return. So now group one variable is set to this array of floating point numbers. Okay, and then next we need to write the proc that will be used to determine if the number is over 4, greater than or equal to 4. So we've written a procedure called over 4 feet, and we're setting it to proc.new, and then here's the block of code that will execute every time we call it. So height is going to be the argument name, and then height is going to be evaluated whether it's greater than or equal to 4. All right, so now our proc is in memory. So now we want to say, we're going to use a method called select.select. .select expects a procedure passed to it as an argument. And you call the select method on an array. So it would look like this. So here's your array of group one, and then you're calling the select method on it, and then the select method expects a procedure as an argument. And here's the procedure we're passing it over 4 feet. This ampersand is called a safe operator. So it doesn't return an undefined method error on your select if you try to run select against an empty expression. This will just ignore this. So if we run this, returns 1, 2, 3, 4 riders. So these two, 1, 2, 3, these three guys are unable to ride. So 4 is good, 5 is good, no, no, 6.1 is good, 3.9 is a no, 4.7 is good. So that is a Ruby proc being passed to the select method, which is ran against an array.